It's a bird. It's a plane. It's... Oh, we're in Colorado Springs, so yeah, it's probably just a plane. False alarm, everyone. Across the U.S., some restaurants bring a little something extra to the table in addition to just food. These are some of our favorites. Why would you eat there? This high desert city is home to the United States Air Force Academy, Peterson Air Force Base, Schreiber Air Force Base, NORAD, and the National Museum of World War II Aviation. So it should come as no surprise that it's where we would find an airplane restaurant, which is exactly what it sounds like, a restaurant on a plane.
It's actually quite good. It's fun. It's legitimately fun.
Before the airplane restaurant opened its cockpit doors for business in May 2002, this Texas Air Guard Boeing KC-97 tanker that houses the restaurant refueled aircraft all over the world and could once hit maximum speeds of 400 miles per hour. It was built in 1953 and was one of the largest piston aircraft ever made by Boeing. It carried over 9,000 gallons of fuel, which it would offload to the much faster jet bombers by starting way up high and then pointing its nose down to pick up speed to match the jets. If we pulled it out of the restaurant, like if we pulled it out and we did a little work on it, could we put this restaurant in the air?
It still has the same, the restaurant in the air. It still has the same structural integrity it did when it was flying.
Now, this is a question that I have to ask, and you may roll your eyes. Do people make jokes about airplane food?
All the time. They ask for the peanuts and the pretzels, and are we going to be delayed, and have they lost their luggage?
Now, how did you get this airplane?
Well, I bought it from the government, and it was kind of funny when they would call. I had to sign something, say I wouldn't sell it to a foreign entity. And when they would call, the girls on the phone would say, they'd cover the microphone on the phone and say, "Here's the guy that's going to build this out of a restaurant." And you'd hear everybody start laughing.
This specific plane is also more than a little lucky, and not just because it's living out retirement as a restaurant instead of being here. While on one of its refueling missions in Europe, the crew of the tanker lost track of the islands on which they were supposed to land, and thinking they were short on fuel, came close to ditching out over the Atlantic. Thankfully for the crew, the islands were spotted, and the plane now resides in the shadow of a Radisson, instead of Davy Jones's locker next to his school bus. While only 42 passengers can dine inside the airplane, the restaurant can accommodate over 200 more in the more traditional building-shaped area attached to the plane's left wing. And when I say attached, the wing literally comes inside the restaurant. And even if you're not lucky enough to score one of the coveted aisle seats, all diners get to enjoy the pictures, memorabilia, and rare aviation artifacts on display. And the waitstaff, dressed as members of a flight crew, naturally, will let you sit in the cockpit and mash all the buttons and twist all the knobs. Look at us go!
So Steve, how far could this plane fly?
Well, they've been to Germany a couple times. And then coming back at one time, they took a wrong turn at the beacon. And they thought they were going to have to ditch. And it turns out that the person who refueled it mistook the 7 for a 9. So they put 9,000 gallons of fuel in the wings instead of 7,000.
Oh wow, that's a big difference.
Well, had they put in 7, this would be at the bottom of an ocean. It'd be a submarine restaurant.
So we met with Steve, the owner, inside here on Tasted. He gave us a lot of history of this restaurant. Now let's grab James and see what the food is like and really eat inside of this airplane for Zagat. Hey guys, we checked out the history of the airplane restaurant here on Tasted. Now follow the link over to Zagat and you can watch us eat inside the plane and lots of other fun stuff over there. You've only seen half of the episode. The other half is over there. We'll see you on the other side. I have to pee, so I'll see you later.